One serene Sunday morning, paradise shattered. December 7th, 1941, burned Pearl Harbor into history. But the true enigma isn't just the attack itself. It's the volatile cocktail of ambition, desperation, and strategic gambles that ignited why this tragedy became unavoidable. Japan's imperial ambitions formed a critical foundation for the Pearl Harbor attack. Driven by the vision of a greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere and aspirations for regional dominance, Japan sought to establish its hegemony across Asia. However, these expansionist goals were severely constrained by a critical dependence on imported raw materials. Its rapidly expanding military and industrial machine required vast quantities of oil, rubber, and scrap metal, resources Japan lacked domestically. To secure these vital supplies and advance its imperial agenda, Japan aggressively expanded into mainland China and French Indochina. This unchecked territorial aggression provoked intense international condemnation and the increasing threat of crippling economic sanctions, creating an unsustainable pressure cooker scenario for the resource-poor island nation. America's strong opposition to Japan's relentless aggression, especially its brutal expansion into China, wasn't just diplomatic rhetoric. It soon became a tightening economic noose. In July 1941, the U.S. imposed crippling oil embargoes and froze Japanese assets, a devastating blow to Japan's war machine and industrial base, which relied heavily on imported petroleum. This cut off roughly 90% of their oil supply, threatening to paralyze their military. From Japan's perspective, these actions, combined with the cooperation of America, Britain, China, and the Dutch East Indies, the ABCD line dash dash, represented a deliberate encirclement strategy. They saw it as an attempt at economic strangulation, forcing them to choose between abandoning their imperial ambitions or finding a drastic military solution to secure vital resources. This relentless pressure significantly fueled Japan's desperate calculus. At the core of Japan's fateful decision lay a profound strategic miscalculation born from desperation. The Japanese high command, facing crippling oil embargoes and resource scarcity, gambled that a swift, decisive blow against the formidable U.S. Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor would cripple American naval power. Their aim was not outright victory, but to buy crucial time, perhaps 6 months, to consolidate their newly acquired territories and vital resource regions across Asia, establishing an impregnable defensive perimeter. This daring strategy, however, was fundamentally flawed. It relied on a severe underestimation of America's unparalleled industrial might, its deep economic resilience, and, crucially, the fierce national resolve such a direct, unprovoked attack would unleash. Even Admiral Yamamoto, the brilliant architect behind the Pearl Harbor Plan, harbored deep reservations, famously predicting that while they might run wild for half a year, ultimate victory would be impossible if the war prolonged, underscoring the high stakes, desperate nature of their gamble. Despite impressive successes in decrypting Japanese diplomatic codes known as magic, U.S. intelligence faced significant challenges, creating blinders in Washington regarding the specific threat to Pearl Harbor. While magic provided extensive insights into Japan's broader intentions and military preparations, it often lacked the precise context or definitive actionable warnings needed to pinpoint the exact target. Consequently, a prevailing assumption dominated strategic thinking. Any Japanese offensive would likely concentrate on the Philippines or other Southeast Asian territories, which made more logistical sense given Japan's expansionist goals. This led to a crucial underestimation of both the feasibility and the audacious planning involved in launching a long-range, carrier-based surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, ultimately leaving the Pacific Fleet vulnerable. The domestic climate within the United States significantly shaped its response. A deeply entrenched national debate between proponents of isolationism, advocating non-involvement in overseas conflicts, and interventionists who sensed the encroaching global peril profoundly affected political resolve. This internal division meant a unified, decisive stance against Japan was elusive. Furthermore, American strategic focus was overwhelmingly directed towards the unfolding war in Europe, relegating the Pacific theater to a secondary concern. Consequently, resources and attention that might have bolstered Pacific defenses were prioritized elsewhere. Even with heightened, though often imprecise, warnings about potential Japanese aggression, the inherent challenges in fully preparing and coordinating robust defensive measures across various military branches in Hawaii became evident, contributing significantly to the tragic unpreparedness for the surprise attack. Pearl Harbor was a tragic confluence of imperial ambition, resource scarcity, and strategic miscalculation. In your opinion, was its avoidance truly possible, or an inevitable outcome of escalating global tensions? Share your thoughts in the comments.